everybody. Excuse me. This is American Nana, and I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things I'm trying to put together, but I lack the knowledge to do so. So what I'm going to say is I have 2 clips that I found, and with the wonderful news that Trooper Proctor is being relieved of his duties. I believe he's not supposed to be doing any investigative work or anything on any cases, thank goodness. Hopefully, you know, if they're having him go into the office, hopefully they allow him, I guess he could open the door, check people's credentials. No, probably wouldn't be a good idea either, right? Because you can't trust him. They have a cafeteria? No, you can't trust that. Do they pay their own people to be janitors? You could probably clean the bathrooms or something, because I can't think of gosh, I just can't think of anything else that I could picture Trooper Proctor providing for any law enforcement, any branch, any. I hope he's removed, and his immediate supervisors, everybody that was involved in his text. Because, you know, if you don't say anything, it's worse. Because that means you're part of it. You approve of that behavior. You're telling him that's all right. How you treated Karen Reed is how we expect you to treat any citizen, any female citizen. Now, if there happens to be a female citizen that you feel has done something and broken the law, which your investigation, as you pointed out, was quite thorough. In your imagination, possibly it was. But you see, Trooper Proctor, the problem with your investigation, nobody's ever going to have the truth about what happened to Officer John O'Keefe unless someone breaks their silence. I don't know how many people are involved with or have the actual knowledge of what has happened. But those of you that do have the knowledge, I don't know how you sleep at night. I honestly don't. I don't. And anyway, what I wanted to bring to you, and it's taken me a good 6-7 minutes, I have clipped, I believe it was day 23, Trooper Proctor was on the stand, and Lyimg is doing, I guess it's redirect. And in this redirect that he did, a very important thing happened that I'm sure if there are charges that can be brought, there will be. And I'm so happy to know that even on the stand, even during an investigation into him, even with all that he has supposedly been through with the investigations, and I'm just guessing it's a lot of, you know, well, obviously they told him to get on the stand and pretend that he was sorry. He was sorry. Well, no, he wasn't sorry. I don't believe he ever said he was sorry. Of course, if he would have said he was sorry, who would have believed him? I mean, honestly, I'm so shocked, because to me, I mean, a first grader could have figured out that he didn't prove the case. It's just, this slime bag patrols the streets. He's around women and he's around children. Females. Lots of females. He's an absolute disgrace to any badge. My mother was married numerous times, so that's not the point here. But at one point, one of her husbands I loved my stepsister. I loved her. She was much older than me. She was grown with children. And I was 6 when I met her. She made me an aunt when I was 6 or 7. She was a police officer. Her husband was a police officer. And they both passed at a very young age. She stood for the people. She was a police officer to protect people, to do good, to do right. I believe in the police and the law enforcement, and I'm not trying to, and for the most part, the judicial system. I'm having some problems with some things, but it may be just my lack of knowledge or not understanding how things work. That when a slime bag like that is on the street, he's an absolute disgust. He's a disgusting person. He's the worst of the worst for an example of what a law enforcement should be. The things he said, and I suspect the things he's done, if nothing else, his mouth says it all. He speaks freely of someone that he's investigating. And he determined his case within a matter of hours, speaking to a few people. So I'm glad that they've done something, and I hope they continue with all the ranks involved in this. my sister, my stepsister, she stood for the right reasons. She cared about people. You don't deserve to be called sir. I'm amazed they addressed you as sir in the courtroom. Disgusted me. A lot of what you've done disgusted me. But the taint that you put on that badge, it's going to take 20 years for people to wipe it off. Who can trust the people? Who can trust the law enforcement in Canton? Who can trust the chief of police that she got voted back in? Another term. She gets another year with town people screaming to have her replaced. This is a joke, right? I mean, candy camera somewhere? I don't get it, folks. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoy this, because you're going to see Trooper Proctor on the stand make an accusation against Mr. Yannetti. And then Turtle Boy, after the trial, and hopefully it's okay if I play this, but Turtle Boy has a video up of Mr. Yannetti giving a statement afterwards. Turtle Boy is the voice that you hear asking the questions, and he has a YouTube channel, and he's very... he's the reason I think it blew up. I think that's why the world is aware, is because of his work. So hopefully it's okay that I'm playing these. I don't know how to, I mean, I can only take, well, if I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble from them. I'm hoping that they won't mind, because this is just a little bitty piece of the fact he lied under oath, made up a lie. And if you really, really watch him, at the very end, where he said his sister was afraid she was going to get arrested or something, it was like, if he would have been able to keep talking, I think he was going to cry. You know, Karen Reed has a brother. I wonder what he feels about what she's going through. And Trooper Proctor is one of the strangest people I've ever met. Talks to his sister 20 times a day or whatever. I mean, I wonder what Trooper Proctor would do if it was his sister being treated like this. Because, see, he knows he's covering up. Now, I don't know how deep he knows as to what actually happened, but he knows he's covering it up. So he's got a lot of nerve to get upset, lying even, that just breathe his sister's name, I guess. But he got on that stand and lied, trying to act like his sister was a victim of some sort. Mr. Yannetti didn't know where she worked. Wasn't there for that reason. Never spoke to anybody. It's right out of his mouth, right after he leaves that day. So, I'm going to say goodbye, good night, and I hope y'all enjoy this video.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now, when you had started with cross-examination the other day, you were asked some questions about whether or not in August of 2022 you disliked or did not like Mr. Yannetti, correct?
That's correct.
Why was that?
Well, basically, he stood up in open court and spouted lie after lie about me, called me corrupt and conflicted, dragged my name through the mud after I spent 10 plus years without a single complaint filed against me, and he had no basis or no facts of these wild accusations, because there are none. This investigation was done with the utmost integrity, not just by me, but my supervisors and other troopers in my office, as well as Mr. Yannetti shows up at my sister's school yesterday in the parking lot where he's not welcomed or where people are not supposed to be, with one of their witnesses and their private investigator. And a teacher sees this, informs Mr. Yannetti that he can't be there, and instead of saying okay and leaving, he asks, is Courtney Proctor in the building? Does she work here? She calls me to see if she was being served.
Objection. Can we approach?
Yes.
Not do. I couldn't control my reaction in court.
Steve, do you know what he's talking about with that picture that was going on Twitter? There's like a guy that looks like you talking to Lucky Lochran.
Aiden, that was me.
Oh, that was you? Okay,
yes,
all right.
yeah,
So that was
yeah.
you. Okay.
Any lawyer is going to prepare a witness to testify.
Steve.
I took the off day and I went down to Canton because I wanted Lucky Lochran to go through his route with me.
Okay.
Lucky Lochran asked to meet in the Kennedy School parking lot. I had suggested meeting at the DPW. I didn't know who worked there, who went to school there. I don't know Canton. I'm not a South Shore guy. I met with Lucky Lochran with my investigator. We left the parking lot. He took me on his route. We went back to the parking lot, picked up the car, and we left. He made up a conversation out of whole cloth that somebody supposedly approached me and had a conversation with me about leaving.
Something about his sister. I guess his sister works at that school. I don't know.
I have
She's like,
no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I was a first-hand witness today to perjury by the lead investigator who is framing my client. I was a first-hand witness to that today. That explains my reaction in court.
When will Lucky be? Do you expect the Commonwealth to call Lucky, or will that just be a defense witness?
I don't know if they'll call him or not. I mean, he's on their witness list, but he will be a defense witness if he's not called by the Commonwealth. I promise you that.
And does his story remain the same from what we've seen in court filing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And good for him. He lives in that community, and he will not be bullied. The truth is the truth. And I look forward to putting Brian Lochran on the stand.